and that I will faithfully, impartially, and with fidelity, discharge the duties of the Metropolitan County Council without fear or favor and for the public welfare. So help me God. Thank you.
Our diaspora of the moment is Zulfat Suara. Zulfat Suara is a Nigerian-American activist, businesswoman, and politician. Suara is originally from Ibadan, Nigeria. She was a head prefect of her high school and was Amira for the college and state chapters of the Muslim Student Society of Nigeria. She graduated with a higher national diploma in accountancy with high honors from the Polytechnic of Ibadan. She came to the United States in 1993 when her husband was offered a fellowship at Vanderbilt University. After moving to Tennessee, she earned her District of Columbia Certified Public Accountant certificate in 1996 and her Tennessee State CPA license in 1999. For 2 years, she worked full-time as a CPA for KPMG in Nashville. Between 2009 and 2011, Suara served 2 terms as the state president of Business and Professional Women's Foundation. From this role, she became the Tennessee Women's Day on the Hill chair for 7 years, leading an annual event that allows women's advocacy organizations to present directly to politicians in Tennessee. Suara is also a board member of the Women's Fund of the Community Foundation of Middle Tennessee, a 2020 board member of the Women's Business Collaborative, and an annual speaker at the Tennessee's Women's March. In 2015, she was inducted into the Tennessee's Women's Hall of Fame. Suara later founded her own accounting firm that worked with several county governments across the West Tennessee region. She's the executive director of grants and contracts at Meharry Medical College. Suara is also involved in the American Muslim Advisory Council, AMAC, an organization that was created as a response to the anti-Sharia bill in 2012. Beyond acting as a founder of the organization, she was chair for 2012 to 2016 and 2018 to 2019. In 2021, she was AMAC's treasurer. In 2018, the Islamic Society of North America recognized her as the ISNA Muslim Advocate of the Year.
We are very excited because Zulfat reflects the state of our faith. Muslims believe that people are people. We don't see people as white or black. We don't see people as rich or poor. We see people as people. God used the term, Ya ayyuhan nas, oh people. So the idea of believing in the equal right of all is a fundamental part of our faith. Also, I am really delighted today because many girls in our community are excited, and I am really grateful for her service. Islamically speaking, we believe that holding a position is an opportunity for serving, not really an opportunity for personal gain. So I am sure that her and her colleague will do this. May God make it easy for them. May God bless her, her husband, and her kids for what they went through this election, and may God continue His blessing upon them. In Nashville, may God's blessing be upon our city always. May every need for each individual be met, and may God continue to bless our country. Zulfat,
come. I have to acknowledge Senator Gilmore especially. Everything. So she's my fairy political godmother. So all the elected officials, thank you for coming. Brenda Wynn did radio ad for me. She's way back there. Took me to our church so many times. Fabian. This is the bittersweet part of this election, because I really would have loved to serve with Fabian. When I decided to run, he was the first person that I talked to, one of the first about running. And he says, Zulfat, go for it. And when I first started getting attacked, he was one of the people that I called. Fabian, thank you for everything. And so this guy is going to be very important because I've been hounding him in the state legislature since I've been doing advocacy. That's true. And so now the council, and we need to stick it to the state and get them off our back. Thank you, Jeff, for everything for always being in my corner. Thank you so much. Yes.
Thank you all for coming. I know this is a really special moment for all of us. I guess before y'all know or knew Zulfat Suara as like the community activist, the organizer, I knew her as my mom. And so even when she was making me like do math problems over the summer, I always looked up to her. I always knew that she was a powerhouse. I always saw her as a strong Nigerian Muslim American woman who could do anything that she put her mind to.
She's an inspiration to us all. She inspires us to be our best self. She's a gift to this world. She's a gift to humanity. She's a gift to Nashville. We're lucky to have her. She's already made this city better.
I also look around this room and think this is the kind of community I want to live in, where we all are very different, but we all are very equal.
I want to thank everyone that voted for me. And for the people that did not vote for me, I want to assure you that I do want a Nashville for all, and I promise to represent everybody to the best of my ability.
We are super proud of you. Keep the Nigerian flag flying. Thank you for staying all through the program. We hope it's been worth your while. And in case you have anything to share with us, please do not hesitate to do so as we expect feedback on our show. Remember, you can reach us on all our social media platforms. On Facebook at Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, on Instagram at NIDCOM_gov, on our YouTube page at NIDCOM_gov, on our Twitter page at NIDCOM_gov, and on our website at www.nidcom.gov.ng. You can also join us on DSTV at NTA Network and NTA International on Tuesday at 3:30 p.m., on NTA International on Friday at 3:30 a.m., on NTA International on Saturday at 11 a.m., and on NTA News 24 on Sunday at 10:30 a.m. You can also join us on WAP TV on Thursdays at 9 a.m. and on WTV on Wednesdays and Sundays at 8:30 a.m. And you can join us on Ben TV London at 4:30 p.m. on Saturday. I remain your host, Koinsola Adetumbi. See you next time.
This week on Executive Discuss.
In the night, I was sleeping. Then somebody said, you can now mix the herbs.
Who was the somebody?
I don't know. You can now
But
mix
you're
the herbs.
sure that
yes,
you heard the voice
The voice said you can now
saying
mix
to
the
you.
herbs. So I went back. I remember my grandmother telling me, and then later on telling my mother. I gave Zainab something.
Hello and welcome. It's time for another interesting package of
Everything Music.
Angelina, you dey cool in my temperature. If you call, I go come deliver.
This is Talkie Movies.
In times of old, the world was full of wonder.
Welcoming you to your weekend for today.
It's time to use our voice.
Beyond Six Packs.
Bills, 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 bills.
Pay the bills. Keep paying telephone bills. Pay my bills.
Welcome to Gallery.
Me, I
my paddies.
London for what?
London for medicine.
Medicine for what?
Medicine for coffee.
Are you sickness?
To our illness. Welcome to Gist Zone.
All right, my name is the Eselucien Wego One. Ona nyokoko nyonyo.
Wannan labarin ma yana peji na 36.
Ita kuma babban labarin wannan jarida shine ainihin labarin da ake gaban jarida shine ta bayyana cewa
ọkwa ọjị Ikenga eziokwu
nwanne m nwoke
Ikechukwu Ndukwe Igbo
mam iji wee mee ka ụbọchị na-aga n'anya ya
ọjọ́ ewutelu unu.
Nation fún ti òwúrọ̀ yìí ibẹ̀ náà ti sọ pé àwọn ìgbìmọ̀ aláṣẹ ìpínlẹ̀ Benue pàṣẹ wípé.
Ní gbogbo àwọn ẹ̀ka, ní ẹ̀ka ètò ẹ̀kọ́, ní ẹ̀ka ètò ìlera, ní ẹ̀ka ètò ààbò.
And there's the start and get. Promises to Shara. Winds up that right hand. Archbishop of basketball, goal! He hung on that net like a stalk up a tree.
NTA Sports 20.
Good evening and thanks for joining us on Nationwide today. I'm Elizabeth Omori. President Muhammadu Buhari says Nigeria is keen on fostering excellence across board and will continue to celebrate those who contribute to their quota to the task of getting around the top bracket of outstanding nations. This was at the conferment of the 2020 and 2021 Nigerian National Order of Merit Awards to deserving citizens of the country. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo has details.
The award recipients for 2020 are Professor Oluyinka Olurotimi Olutoye, a world-renowned fetal and pediatric surgeon represented here by his father, Oba Olufemi Rotimi, the Alani of Edoani Kingdom, and the late Professor Charles Ejike Chidume, a globally renowned professor of mathematics represented by his son, Dr. Okechukwu Chidume. And the awardee for 2021 is Professor Godwin Samuel Ehabwere, a world-renowned professor of mathematical physics with research interests and activities in non-commutative stochastic analysis, tropical partial algebras, and financial mathematics. The Nigerian National Order of Merit is the highest and most prestigious award bestowed by the country on its citizens for creative, intellectual, and academic contributions that have national and global significance.
I am proud to welcome the new laureates to this prestigious League of Citizens. You are not just a national treasure, you are now important milestones in the history of Nigeria's upward path.
Let me also use this opportunity to call on Nigerian universities, both public and private, to rise up to the challenge and continue to lead in innovative research targeted at providing solutions to the many problems affecting the country, especially post-COVID-19 era.
President Muhammadu Buhari, who congratulated the award recipients, assured them that the nation will continue to celebrate and hold up their achievements as a shining example worthy of emulation by upcoming young men and women in the country.
Please endeavor at all times to serve as beacons of hope and aspirations for the younger generation of Nigerians, reminding them that our survival and collective future as a nation ultimately rests on our being active participants in global developmental efforts, especially in science and technology.
The President appreciated the governing board of the Nigerian National Order of Merit Award for making transparency and love for the nation as the hallmark of their stewardship, saying the good work must be sustained.
The Nigerian National Order of Merit Award is one of the enduring national legacies that are held in high regard. I wish to assure you that this administration is fully committed to giving the recognition that it deserves by immortalizing its recipients who have taken this country to greater heights, both in Nigeria and in diaspora.
And on behalf of the award recipients, Professor Godwin Ehagbuere thanks the federal government for finding them worthy of recognition after what he described as diligent, thorough, objective, and rigorous selection process.
This is bound to inspire many persons around the world who regard us as their mentors, while potentially fostering increased interest in science and medicine in Nigeria, and also the groundbreaking applications of these subjects to national development.
Established 43 years ago, the Nigerian National Order of Merit Award recipients have now increased to 79. Each one of them adjudged to have epitomized the fineness of Nigeria's capacity for innovation and creativity. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
In Aviation, the federal government has averted aviation unions' industrial unrest scheduled to kick off February 8. The suspension was due to a satisfactory response to the two issues affecting the unions. Minister of Labour and Employment Chris Ngige informed the media that all the agencies that have not paid the national minimum wage should write to the National Salaries, Incomes and Wages Commission through the Ministry of Aviation for consideration and evaluation.
These agencies should be reviewed by the National Salaries, Incomes and Wages so that they will find out whether there are adjustments to be done. And if that is so, those adjustments should be effected and sent to Presidential Committee on Salaries for approval.
The meeting also agreed that the issue of condition of service affecting agencies under Aviation Ministry is to be addressed together with its financial implications.
Complaint that some of the condition of service have been done and submitted many years ago, some up to 3, 4, 5 years. Meeting concluded that this is not in good step, and we wanted to take a more proactive step to conclude the review of this condition of service.
It's basically two issues, and they've been resolved amicably, and they will be implemented. And our award is our bond.
Correspondent Emmanuel Ayimiro reports that the meeting concluded that by the end of the first quarter of 2022, the Aviation Ministry should ensure the approval, release and implementation of the reviewed conditions of service for all workers in the agencies under Aviation Ministry. To other matters, the House of Representatives is working on a legislation to facilitate the establishment of a Center for Vaccine Research and Development in Nigeria. The bill is to that effect was passed at second reading by the House. The Centre shall be mandated to, among others, conduct research of diagnostics, therapeutics and vaccines for infections that pose a risk to public health. The lawmakers noted that establishment of the agency conforms with what obtains in other countries which have in existence a Centre for Disease Control and a Centre for Vaccine Research and Development. Meanwhile, Senate is making efforts to provide a legal framework for a comprehensive system of firearms control and to provide for all matters connected therewith. The bill, which passed second reading, intends to regulate movement of arms and ammunition, among other things. President of the Senate, Hamid Lawan, during plenary announced the PDP's nomination of Senator Shuaibu Issa Lau from Taraba North as the new Deputy Minority Leader of the Senate.
Following the recent defection of our Senate Deputy Minority Leader, Senator Emmanuel Buacha, to the ruling APC, the PDP Senate caucus has nominated as his replacement Senator Shuaibu Issa Lau. Senator Lau is from Taraba State, the northeast geopolitical zone of the country, where the position has been zoned.
Mr. President, I had to leave because I seek to breathe better. This day, I announce henceforth my exit from the People's Democratic Party and to join the governing party because of visible presence of the party in my senatorial district.
Strategic leadership is critical to the fight against insecurity and development in Nigeria. Niger State Governor Abubakar Sani Bello made the assertion in a lecture delivered at the National Defense College, Abuja. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa has details.
These are participants of Course 30 of the National Defense College, drawn from the military, paramilitary and other security agencies.
The participants will read the course and come up with position papers on how to address some of these challenges.
With security threats in parts of Sokoto, Kaduna and Niger states, Governor Abubakar Sani Bello in a lecture stressed on the responsibility of state governors to effectively support security agencies with information and logistics to boost their morale and their internal security operations across the country. The lecture also helps on the roles and importance of coordinated non-state actors in stemming crime from the root and effective mobilization of village heads and traditional rulers in tracing and tracking criminality.
The only solution is to apply technology to control our borders. We need to tighten our border patrol to reduce influx of light arms and heavy arms into the country. There is need for more understanding between political heads and military hierarchy.
There are 102 participants in the 11-month course. From the National Defense College in Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
Nigeria is developing a national roadmap for the management of response to criminal or intentional unauthorized acts contravening regulatory control. Director General, Nigerian Nuclear Regulatory Authority, Yao Idris, said this at a workshop for national and international experts in the management of atomic energy. Adebola Brookslin reports.
As nuclear and other radioactive materials have increasingly become preferred tools in the hand of criminals and terrorists for creating threats to global security. In its bid to tackle nuclear terrorism, the International Atomic Energy Agency is helping policymakers and experts worldwide to improve nuclear security and manage radioactive sources.
We will together review the identified capability gaps, prioritize them, and agree on a nuclear security response roadmap in which gaps will be addressed and the national response capacity will be enhanced.
As Nigeria is developing a national nuclear security detection architecture, the Director General insists the response component cannot be overlooked.
This caused the need to develop national capabilities to respond to criminal and unauthorized acts involving nuclear and radioactive materials.
The framework will establish a mechanism to coordinate the various activities undertaken by several competent authorities during the response to a nuclear security event.
Workshop which seeks to drive a systemic recovery of materials considered as out of regulatory control is one of the expected outcomes of the 5-day convergence. Adebola Brookslyn, NTA News.
Now, increasing attacks and growing threats within Nigeria's cyberspace are now generating a significant level of concern as experts in the field call for urgent measures by government to tackle criminal invasion of privacy of unsuspecting internet and phone users. ICT correspondent Joseph Johnson in this special report takes a look at Tanglebot, which he says is the latest malware to watch out for.
For starters, that COVID-19 SMS you received may not just be false, but also a trap. Let me explain why. In recent times, it's been from one malware alert to another. Remember Flubot? Right. Now, so soon after that, ransomware re-emerged, and now Tanglebot is the new kid on the block. It seems like the bad bots, or zombies if you like, are slowly taking over the cyberspace, making communication or transactions using a phone and the internet in recent months potentially risky activities. Let's talk about Tanglebot.
The Nigerian Communications Commission (NCC), in a press statement to alert the public, describes Tanglebot as employing more or less similar tactics as the recently announced notorious Flubot SMS Android malware that targets mobile devices as it equally gains control of the device, but in far more invasive manner than the Flubot malware. The statement goes on to explain that it is installed when an unsuspecting user clicks on a malicious link disguised as COVID-19 vaccination appointment-related information in an SMS message or information about fake local power outages that are due to occur. The aim behind both or either of the messages is to encourage potential victims to follow a link that supposedly offers detailed information. Once at the page, users are asked to update applications such as Adobe Flash Player to view the page's content by going through 9 dialog boxes to give acceptance to different permissions that will allow the malware operators initiate the malicious configuration process. The immediate consequence is that Tanglebot gains access to several different permissions when installed on a device, allowing it to eavesdrop on user communications. The malware then steals sensitive data stored on the device and monitors almost every user's activities, including camera use, audio conversations, and location, among other things. As with other malware threats, cybersecurity experts, while noting that untrusted texts, emails, and links shouldn't be opened or replied to, say observing cyber hygiene is important.
Make sure things are updated, have a good password, because password is the key to your door. Part of what drives hackers, like any other human being, is pride. Beating my chest that I broke into this.
Tanglebot may not be the last of its kind, as it might open the door for another type of malware. But before then, untangling this particular bot would need not just two to tangle, but everyone to share in the collective sense of caution. Joseph Johnson, NTA News.
Thank you so much, Joseph, for that information. And just a quick reminder, you can follow this news broadcast live on our website, nta.ng/live, on YouTube, NTA News Online, and on Facebook, NTA Network News, Twitter, NTA News Now, Instagram, NTA Network for updates. You're watching Nationwide. Time now to join Adeola in Lagos for the situation report on fuel scarcity. Hello, Adeola.
Hello, Elizabeth.
Now, promoting tolerance and understanding can sometimes be challenging in a heterogeneous country like Nigeria. But as a people who cherish assets like arts and culture, achieving national unity has been simplified. Hingino John Adams examines the role of arts and culture in building a united Nigeria.
As the most populous black nation in the world, Nigeria has diverse and rich cultural heritage. The various languages, dialects, way of dressing, dance steps, and dishes reflect the robust cultural assets of the country. These add to her beauty. Little wonder, they say, variety is the spice of life. The beauty that comes with this heterogeneity is not without some challenges, which may include difficulty in understanding the basic elements of each other's cultures and beliefs, as well as perceived frictions. Arts and culture as people's way of life play a great role in turning the multiplicity of Nigeria into unity.
Culture has been able to bring people together through festivals, through cultural shows and programs. People have been able to adapt to other people's food, adapt to other people's clothing, adapt to other people's even language.
Cultural enthusiasts believe that the country's heterogeneous nature is a good source of strength.
Intentionally, we must teach our children our language. Teach them Igbo, Hausa, Ibibio, whatever, wherever you are from.
They also advocate appreciating other people's way of life to achieve a better Nigeria.
There is no culture exclusive to the other culture. All cultures are good. And you need to open up your mind for you to really understand somebody from their own perspective, for them to also be able to understand your own perspective.
Cultural enthusiasts say if Nigerians uphold the saying, "Together we stand and divided we fall," national unity will take the lead. In Lagos, Hingino John Adams, NTA News.
For the second day running, there are long queues at fuel service stations in Lagos State as residents embark on frantic search for petrol. Adeniyi Taiwo reports that the scarcity has also worsened traffic gridlock in some parts of the metropolis.
What started early Monday morning and which got many Lagosians hoping that it would just be a flash in the pan is actually turning into a nightmare, as many of them are now forced to, queue for long hours at fuel station in order for them to get the product.
Within Obalende, Victoria Island and Ikoyi axis, there are only few filling stations that I saw dispensing petrol.
We are queuing for fuel and I've been on the line for almost 2 hours now.
Almost 2 hours?
Yes.
So are they selling? At what price are they selling?
They are selling. I don't even know at what price. I've been on the road since morning. And how much work can I do now when I get to the office? I'm already getting tired.
From Ojodu to come to Alakpere. I was just driving on the road hoping that I will get, because the ones in my area are not selling.
Surveillance around Ogudu, Obalende and Victoria Island areas of the state, however, showed that many of the service stations stopped selling the product after allegedly running out of stock.
They don't want to sell the fuel again.
Is it that they don't have to sell or they don't want to sell?
They don't want to sell.
This is despite repeated assurance from the federal government that there is adequate supply of petrol in the country.
And when you ask why this sudden scarcity, the story we have, which we read on papers, on social media, is that a mother tanker came in with a huge volume of, nobody knows, do you say it's adulterated, do you say it's off-spec, but nobody knows exactly what category of product it is.
The usual traffic gridlock in some part of the metropolis was worsened by the scarcity. In Lagos, Adeniyi Taiwo, NTA News.
And those are contributions from Lagos, but don't forget that you can follow this news live on our website at nta.ng/live and on YouTube at NTA News Online. You can also visit our Facebook page at NTA Network News, Twitter handle at NTA News Now, and on Instagram at NTA Network for updates. We will take a break now. The news will continue when we return with Elizabeth in Abuja.
The aviation sector is rapidly growing with the construction of new international airport terminals in several regions of the country. The new Murtala Mohammed International Airport has an estimated passenger increase of 30 million annually and 15 million for Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja. Malam Aminu Kano International Airport is also expected to open new frontiers for the region with more travel capacity for the annual Hajj, while the new Akanu Ibiam International Airport, Enugu, avails more business opportunities connecting the industrial cities in the region to the world. These new terminals beat world-class standards with enabling infrastructure that aid air travel, tourism, and the eventual growth of the country's GDP.
Open up commerce and, of course, link us to international societies.
People from international community will come here to do business, and then that will bring in more revenue to the state.
Now, distances can be seamlessly covered as Nigeria keeps raising its bar to suit global infrastructure standards.
Public policy issues with 5G network and digital economy. That is our focus on NTA Tuesday Live this week. Tuesday Live, every week at 10:30 p.m. Incisive and educative. Join us.
Candidates who are interested in gaining admission into NTA Television College Jos for the 2021-2022 two-year National Innovation Diploma Program are to apply for admission through the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAM. The courses available for application include film and television production, broadcast journalism, and television engineering technology. Such candidates must have a minimum of 5 O-level credits in relevant subjects including English language and mathematics. For more information, please contact NTA Television College, Jos, or the marketing department of any NTA station nationwide. Registrar, Announcer.
Nigerian youths are about the greatest assets the country has at the moment. It is therefore not surprising that the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari is strategically responding to the yearnings of the youth through multiple projects and programs. Youth entrepreneurship support, yes, by Bank of Industry, the Youth Investment Fund by the CBN, and several other conditional cash transfer programs. Recruitment of 774,000 social workers, majority of whom are youths, and so many other projects that are beneficial to youths directly or indirectly. If the administration can do all this, definitely with a degree of patience and time, it can achieve more. Nigerian youths must come together to say no to terrorism, no to vandalism, and no to all disruptive tendencies. Hashtag Youth for Greater Nigeria. Pacifying the youths.
You're still watching Nationwide 98, and we're not done with fuel scarcity reports yet. Sudden fuel queues characterize most filling stations in the nation's capital city. While some fuel stations are selling, others are not. Safia Nyoma Uche went round to find out what the issue is.
The drive round Abuja city centre confirms the situation. While some fuel stations were seen selling the product, others were not. Some buyers claim they have to bribe the fuel attendants for them to sell the product.
About 4 filling stations. They no join NAPC or Wando. All of them just stop once that they are not selling fuel again.
I had to drive all the way to this place to get fuel. And the queue, I've been on the queue for more than 30 minutes.
We should go to those places that are not selling to ask them questions. Why are they not selling? What is their problem?
Oh, I don't know whether maybe it's a panic buying or whatever, but I have fuel that I can be able to sell to my customers.
But investigation into the matter shows that the product was not of specification. The president, Ipman Chinedu Okoronko, says those who do not have the new product cannot sell.
Product that came into the country, and my members discovered after selling some of these things to motorists started having issues, and I believe NNPC have done something in that direction. So whatever thing that is happening is artificial, it will be solved.
Fuel hawkers were seen everywhere having a field day, while commuters are hoping that the situation eases off in the coming days. Safia Uche, NTA News.
And for updates on fuel scarcity, let's join Agatha in Benin. Hello, Agatha.
Hello, Elizabeth. Good to see you, and thank you for joining us in Benin. Contrary to reports of fuel scarcity in Lagos and Abuja, the product is available and dispensing at approved pump price in Akure, Ondo State. Toyin Batiri has a situation report.
At some fuel stations within Akure metropolis, the product is selling fast and smoothly as buyers get the petroleum product without any hindrance. Pump price of petrol in Akure is between 162 naira to 165 naira per litre as sellers of the product assure consumers of non-stop sales.
We are selling, we are selling normal price. So there's nothing like panic buying, and there's no queue.
I have bought my own petrol now, so there is no any queue here. And I don't see any queue in outside.
There's no queue here. But it could be due to some factors like the fuel NNPC just brought out, the high rate of sulfur in the PMS. Maybe that's why people are so cautious of buying fuel.
On the removal of fuel subsidy, residents of Akure appeal to the federal government to let status quo remain. In Akure, Toyin Batire, NT News.
Away from fuel situation, the rich and diverse cultures of Nigeria were showcased at an annual event that promotes unity and peaceful coexistence among military personnel and their host communities. Jude Abugu, who witnessed the colorful cultural displays to mark the 2021 West Africa Social Activities WASA of Military Hospital, Benin, now reports.
The age-long tradition of the Nigerian Army to host social activities in military formations in the country is one of the ways the military fosters unity and promotes the culture of the country. This particular event by Military Hospital Benin is a further proof that every military formation in the country is a mini Nigeria, from the cultural troops to the attires and dancing steps, all reflect and represent the rich cultures of various ethnic groups in the country. Soldiers and their families look forward to this event due to the opportunity it offers them to spend time with their loved ones and friends in a more relaxed atmosphere, away from the regimented military life.
The event, as you are aware, is a forum for informal and social interaction for the barrack community to showcase the rich and diverse cultures of our nation.
Appreciating the personnel of the military hospital for their dedication to duty during the preceding year, the commander highlighted the importance of the annual social activities.
The event also seeks to promote comradeship and foster unity among personnel as one large family.
Some deserving soldiers, civilian staff, and friends of the military hospital were honored with awards at the event. A tug of war between army officers' wives and female soldiers, which ended in favor of army officers' wives, brought the event to a climax. In Benin, Jude Abugu, NTA News.
That's our package. Lisbeth is back to you for more on Nationwide.
Thank you so much, Agatha. Now, a bit of legal matters. A federal Capital Territory High Court sitting in Gudu, Abuja, struck out the case against Ramon Adedoyin and 6 others over the alleged murder of Timothy Adegoke, who used to be a postgraduate student of Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife. Justice Modupe Osho Adebiyi struck out the matter following an application of notice of discontinuance of the case by the prosecution counsel Ochugu Ugbe. Discontinuance of all proceedings in the matter is due to further investigations because of the emergence of more evidences. Meanwhile, counsel to the family of the deceased Femi Falana has urged the Inspector General of Police Usman Baba Alkali to hand over the case file to the Attorney General of Osun State, where the murder took place. Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu Solidarity Vanguard has been inaugurated in Elele Ikwere local government area of Rivers State to champion the realization of his 2023 presidential ambition. Kingsley Amajiri reports.
Bola Tinubu Solidarity Vanguard is in Elele Ikwere local government area for the inauguration of the group.
To the best of my ability, preserve aims and objectives of bad Vanguard.
Key task before the Vanguard is to champion the realization of Tinubu's 2023 presidential ambition. State Coordinator of Senator Tinubu Solidarity Vanguard, Chief Tony Ukucha, and other chieftains of APC noted that Senator Tinubu remains the best candidate poised to bring development in Nigeria.
Tinubu, please, we are calling on you. We are behind you. The people of Rivers State are behind you. The Ikwere people here are behind you. They are telling you that they believe in you.
We have seen it all today that Tinubu is for River and River is for Tinubu.
They have been charged with the responsibilities to mobilize our people here in Ikwere local government for the mission and vision of enthroning Bola Ahmed Tinubu for President of Nigeria 2023.
Inauguration of the Vanguard in Elele for Rivers East Senatorial District marks the third in the series of the Vanguard's grassroots mobilization in Port Harcourt. Kingsley Amajiri, NTA News.
Don't forget you can follow this broadcast live on our website nta.ng/live, on YouTube NTA News Online, Facebook NTA Network News, Twitter at News Now, and Instagram NTA Network for updates. Let's now join Asmao in Sokoto for more reports. Nice to see you, Asmao.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Good evening and welcome to Sokoto. The federal government efforts to mitigate the harmful effects of climate change on environment and agricultural development has gained a boost in the northwest part of the country. This is coming as 140 women farmers from the 7 northwest states were sensitized on climate change mitigation and strategies adaptation. Sheikh Muhammad Detti reports.
The 2021 COP26 Climate Change Conference, which took place in Glasgow, United Kingdom, greatly recommended that governments and individuals need to work towards reducing the harmful effects of climate change, especially by avoiding deforestation, bush burning, and other activities capable of polluting the environment. As part of efforts to mitigate the effect of climate change, federal government, through the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, had brought together women farmers from across 7 northwest states that include Sokoto, Kebbi, Zamfara, Katsina, Kano, Kaduna, and Jigawa states, with a view to sensitizing them on the effects of climate change. Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Dr. Muhammad Abubakar Mahmoud, represented by Sokoto State Coordinator, Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, Sule Ovajimo Majid, said government is concerned that the climate change variability affects particularly women. He said the National Gender Policy in Agriculture, approved in 2019, is meant to ensure gender equity.
This ultimately will ensure commitment to gender mainstreaming at all levels of agricultural sector, which is seen as a tool for achieving gender-based reforms and increasing productivity by men and women.
Assistant Director, Gender, Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, Mrs. Ifeoma Anyao, represented, said women as custodians of families and houses have a vital role to play in mitigating the effects of climate change.
What we intend to achieve is to reduce the impact of climate change to the society.
Director General, Sokoto Agriculture Development Project, Abakar Malami, a representative of Rural Access and Agricultural Marketing Program, assured of state government's support to all programs related to gender mainstreaming into climate change mitigation and adaptation strategies. In Sokoto, Sheikh Muhammad Datti, NTA News.
Zamfara state government has made case for a special consideration to be given to the state in the ongoing recruitment exercise by the Nigerian police force. This was part of the submission at a town hall meeting organized by the Police Service Commission held in Gusau. Jamil Umar has more.
The town hall meeting, which drew participants from traditional rulers, community and religious leaders, vigilante group, women organizations and the business associations, is among other things aimed at sensitizing the participants on the mandate of the Police Service Commission and what is required of them in that regard. A team from the Police Service Commission, led by its commissioner in charge of the Northwest, retired AIG Lol Bawa, enjoins the participants to support the federal government's effort to reposition the Nigeria Police Force for improved productivity. The team particularly stressed the need for all stakeholders to key into the ongoing campaign towards ensuring that only candidates of good character are recruited into the Nigeria Police Force, as well as participation of ladies in the exercise.
We have received a pool of applications from Nigerians willing to join the Nigerian Police Force. But it is observed that 90% of these people, they lack the merit, they lack the capacity in their own examination.
The participants, including Zamfara State Commissioner for Security and Home Affairs, retired DIG Mamman Safi, and the Emir of Gusau Alhaji Ibrahim Bello, advocated for active involvement of traditional rulers and the PCRC in the recruitment exercise, as well as ensuring fair representation of Zamfara State in line with the federal character.
You cross-check your records, you will find that the representation is very partial. That deficit, as it affects Zamfara, should be resolved.
On their part, Islamic scholars at the meeting advocated for removal of any hindrance that could constitute a stumbling block to the Muslim ladies interested in joining the Nigeria Police Force. As the Police Service Commission says, the process of addressing the issue has been initiated by the force. Zamfara State Commissioner of Police Ayuba Elkana, who commended the participants for attending the event, charged them to extend the message to the grassroots level. In Gusau, Jamilu Ibrahim, NTA News.
And that's it from Sokoto. Nationwide continues after this break with Salamatu in Kaduna.
The 157-kilometer Lagos-Ibadan Railway is the first double-track standard gauge railway to be built in West Africa. The Mobolaji Johnson train station is a masterpiece, an infrastructure that is gradually becoming an iconic building in Lagos State. The modern facilities put the station on a world map of train stations. Likewise, other new train stations across the country built to world-class standards. The train and its convenience is indeed an admirable effort, with commendations from Nigerians.
This is a station that we have to commend the federal government for putting a beautiful face, empowering us in Lagos State, not only in economic and political arena.
I can say that I'm really impressed with the infrastructures in place. Kudos to the Minister of Transportations. Kudos to the federal government.
Truly, good things are coming out of Nigeria, and the federal government is deserving of all the applause.
Contemporary times require practical skills to remain competitive and relevant in your organization. Therefore, take advantage of NTA TV College Short Proficiency courses to sharpen your professional skills. Computer Appreciation for Media Practitioners. Date 21st February to 28th February 2022. 1 week. English Grammar and Pronunciation for Broadcasters. Date 1st March to 25th March. 4 weeks. Administrative Principles, Processes and Practices. Date 11th March to 31st March 2022. 4 weeks. Modern Trends in Broadcast Media Marketing. Date 14th March to 13th April 2022. 4 weeks. Basic Broadcast Accounting and Auditing. Date 4th April to 19th April 2022. 2 weeks. The course fee for the 1 week course is 100,000 naira per participant. The fee for the 2 week course is 150,000 naira, while the course fee for the 4 week course is 180,000 naira only. Accommodation inclusive. The venue for all courses is the serene and secure environment of NTA TV College, near Old Government House, Rayfield, Jos. For more inquiries, please call 0803-314-4383 or 0806-980-9807. NTA TV College, training you to be the best you want to be.
From dusk to dawn, 24 hours a day, NTA International is with you in your living room, office, everywhere and anywhere. We provide the company you desire in terms of balanced and up-to-date news, programs and the best of entertainment. Tune in to DSTV channel 251, GoTV channel 91, Freeview UK channel 264, or you can download www.visiontv.co.uk, app for iOS or Android. can also see us on Facebook and YouTube for quality content on the go. NTA International, Africa's window to the world.
Watching NTA nationwide, and thanks for joining us here in Kaduna. At least 4,000 farmers are to benefit from the planned expansion by additional 1,000 hectares of the watery irrigation project in Kano State. The State Deputy Governor Nasir Yusuf Gawuna disclosed this during the steering committee meeting of the Kano State Agro-Pastoral Development Project. Abdullahi Mustafa has the report.
For more than 10 years, many farmers around the watery irrigation project have been unable to cultivate their farms due to erosion along the dam's embankment slope and blockage of distributary canals due to siltation. This, according to the Kano State Agro-Pastoral Development Project, led to an estimated annual loss of about 400 million naira by those directly or indirectly affected. Through an intervention carried out by the project, 150 hectares of land previously lost to erosion was reclaimed, while the silted canal and night storage reservoir were repaired.
Our target are the farmers. That is the will and the intention of the government for the people of the state to benefit from this.
During a steering committee meeting of the project presided over by the State Deputy Governor Nasir Yusuf Gawuna, approval was granted for the development of additional 1,000 hectares of irrigable land, which is expected to create direct opportunities for at least 4,000 farmers.
The necessary one will finalize the design and we will commence civil works.
This will be funded from the 10.9 billion naira to be expanded under the Kano State Agro-Pastoral Development Project in the 2022 fiscal year. Other interventions will include support to smallholder farmers in the production, processing and marketing of selected value chains. In Kano, Abdullahi Mustafa, NTA News.
In security matters, Nigerian Defense Academy concludes field exercise for 47 short service course officer cadets. Army with commitment to inject more competent virile armed forces into the Nigerian security architecture. Suleiman Regachkun at the Table Hill, Kachia, reports on the exercise.
Firepower demonstration, a practical show of Nigeria's military strength to defeat threats to national security. Also, introducing the graduating cadets to destructive effect of war.
Casualty evacuation.
It is the climax of Exercise Camp Highland, last phase of field training for officer cadets of the Nigerian Defense Academy, preparatory to their presidential commissioning into the Nigerian Armed Forces. With their exposure to real battle experience, the 295 short-course Army cadets are now better prepared for the task ahead.
They have been given the basic military training, and I'm very sure the way the Army is structured, whenever they are deployed, they will actually give a good account of themselves.
What we'll advise them is to always place the nation above all other interests and to take away all the training lessons that we have impacted on them.
Among the 295 graduating cadets, 60 are females. Suleiman Regachkun, NTA News.
And that concludes our package from Kaduna. Back to Elizabeth for more stories on Nationwide.
Thank you, Salamatu. The National Institute for Cultural Orientation, NICO, has engaged the officers of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps on the use of Nigerian indigenous languages. Omenka Amarachuku reports that the program is designed for officers and men of paramilitary as well as their family members, which is the fourth in the series.
The nature of the job of the paramilitary is such that takes them within the nooks and crannies of the country. Here, communication is paramount if any personnel posted outside his or her ethnic background must succeed, especially in intelligence gathering.
Now I can say in Akwana, ya Gejia, ya Kaswa,
I can interact, those greetings, I can say those ones now, and even go further to interact, like asking, Yali, Kuki, Anta Shilafia.
So I picked some Yoruba from there. Say Ekaro, Ekabo, Ilenko, Shedadalile, Ishe, Shewa. I can speak and I understand.
The program is also to address the unfortunate and alarming rate at which indigenous languages are losing relevance in the society.
We believe NCDC, being a grassroots security organization, needs to have its personnel to understand major Nigerian languages so that they will be able to perform their duty very well.
We believe that at the end of the whole day, the personnel will be more equipped, and they also see the reasons why they should learn language that apart from their own indigenous language. The
program is expected to replicated across other formations of Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps in the country. Umeka Marchku, NTA News.
The educational sector is yet to fully recover from the 2020 nationwide lockdown occasioned by COVID-19. This gap stakeholders observe can only be bridged by building qualitative, inclusive and adaptive educational system. The 2022 edition of the National Educational Summit, organized by the Human Development Initiative, is therefore bringing stakeholders together in working with government to reduce the number of out-of-school children.
With recent happenings in the country, particularly insecurity in schools, coupled with infrastructure deficits and their effect on the school system, the attainment of SGD Goal 4 by 2030 might remain a mirage if deliberate steps are not taken.
The state's board of basic education comes up all the time, most of them, and claim not to have enough money. Some of them have their money sitting down in Subeb, unaccessed. Just because somebody is not going to release the counterpart funding to access that fund and use it. In other instances where the funds are accessed, what do they use it for? Another element entirely.
In such moments, the dynamics of actualizing quality education needs the cooperation of all. Meanwhile, government at different levels are setting up and stepping up efforts to bridge the gap of teeming university seekers and the slim number of institutions in the country. The latest is 2 new universities established by Lagos State government, which was given license by the National Universities Commission. For the Commission, the rising number does not matter, but the issue of standard must not be compromised.
There are universities that certainly will increase the access, but will also pay attention to quality. Because, producing graduates, just graduates, half-baked graduates, doesn't help anybody. It doesn't help the graduates and doesn't help the nation.
I'm a bit proud of what our modest achievements have been in last year. But given the huge needs of our citizens in that sector, we had to take the very difficult decision and looked at our current other institutions and ask ourselves that indeed these higher institutions should and can be converted into universities.
Lagos State is one of the most populous states in the country and at the forefront among its peers with famous universities. In other news, Niger State Governor and Chairman North Central States Governors Forum, Abubakar Sani Bello, has urged the military to intensify efforts in their operations in the state as directed by President Muhammadu Buhari. The governor's plea followed the recent incessant attacks by terrorists in Shiroro, Munya, Rafi and Paikoro local government areas of the state. In a statement, Governor Bello decried consequential loss of lives and property, including military bases in the area, and expressed displeasure over the heightened nefarious activities of terrorists. While appreciating the efforts of the Joint Security Task Force stationed in the embattled communities. The governor renewed his call to the people to assist security agencies with credible intelligence. Conflict resolution experts have highlighted the need for political leaders and elites to lead peace efforts and ensure social justice in the system as part of solutions to achieving sustainable peace in society. This was what discussed in conflict resolution and reconciliation on NT's Good Morning Nigeria. Ikemini Williams has details.
A variety of social, political and security problems have continued to take a toll on lives and livelihood of Nigerians. These problems have persisted over time, despite numerous past efforts at tackling the issue. Guests on the program say most conflicts are fundamental and must be addressed from the roots before sustainable peace can be achieved.
So there is like a collapse totally of what we used to have traditionally as love that permeates our cultural orientation. So we must of necessity look at it beyond the superficial arrangement of committees, do this, do that.
Most of the people involved in banditry so far, they could be engaged, and then maybe they get some of the youths who are not so deep into it, and they talk.
Other guests who joined the program from Jos and Kaduna defended the role of subnational governments in peace building, stressing that peace building is an investment that requires time to yield results.
I do not think that it is something that we can engage with these issues and see results immediately. It is a process that needs to be carefully nurtured and crafted in a way that gives us result on a very sustainable level. I have seen communities here in Plateau State, I have seen stakeholders here in Plateau State who have learned over the years and are working together as a cohort, in order to do extraordinary feat for peace.
When it comes to election period, it's a very critical period and it's a delicate moment for the citizens as well as for other organizations, but including civil society that are interested in peace building. So I think this is the areas where we need to focus.
They advocated sincerity in any reconciliatory process and reiterated the need to impose penalties on spreading fake news on the social media. In Abuja, Ikemini Williams, NTN News.
Next is Sports Update with Gift George.
Ahead of the Super Falcons Africa Women Championship qualifiers against the Lady Elephants of Cote d'Ivoire in Abuja, head coach of the team, Randy Waldrum, says he expects his foreign-based strikers to replicate their goal-scoring form for their club sides in the national women team to ensure victory for the Super Falcons in the African Women Championship qualifiers.
We want her producing and scoring goals, but at the end of the day, if she's playing well in the position that we're asking her, and we as a team are scoring goals, that's what counts in the end.
The Nigerian Football Federation on Monday announced the reconstitution of the technical crew of the Super Eagles, with Augustine Eguavon staying as interim technical advisor, while former Flying Eagles coach Emmanuel Amunike drafted as immediate assistant to Eguavon and chief coach of the Super Eagles. Salisu Yusuf will be second assistant coach and coach of the Chan team, and Yobo third assistant, while Aloyago remains as goalkeeper trainer. 2 European football, England, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland and Republic of Ireland have agreed to bid to co-host the Euro 2028 Football Championship and also to drop their aims of hosting the 2030 FIFA World Cup. This will provide the first ever hosting right for Wales, Northern Ireland and Republic of Ireland. The 5 football associations have come to a collective decision after what they called an extensive feasibility study. Finally, on the World Club Cup, Chelsea will face Al Hilal on Wednesday in the semi-finals of the World Club Cup competition. The Saudi Arabian club sides trashed Abu Dhabi team Al Jazeera 6-1 on Sunday, with Super Eagles striker Odion Igalo amongst the goal scorers on his debut. European Champions League and Super Cup winners Chelsea joined the competition at the last 4 stage. Al Hilal qualified for the World Club competition after winning the Asian Football Confederation's trophy. Chelsea will be hoping to win the competition for the very first time as it commences its campaign with the semi-final clash against Odion Igalo's Al Hilal on Wednesday. Chelsea had to make the trip to Abu Dhabi without its manager Thomas Tuchel, who tested positive for COVID-19 on Saturday. With Sports Update, Gift George, NTA News.
In Sports Update ends nationwide today. Thank you so much for your time. Do always remember to take action against rape and rapists. I'm Elizabeth Omori.